Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Tir na Nog. Tir na Nog, if that's how it's pronounced, I might be saying that incorrectly, sorry, is a game designed by Isaac Shalev and Jason Slingerland from Grand Gamers Guild. Plays 1 to 5 players and 30 to 45 minutes. Time is probably pretty accurate. It's a pretty quick little game. And effectively what you're doing in this game is, let's see if there's some theme. Prototype, but that's what we got. Journey to the Otherworld by placing storytellers next to the encounter cards in the Otherworld. Okay. Then select from the cards next to your storytellers and add them to your saga, which is a grid of cards in front of you. At the end of 5 rounds, score each row. The golden path to Tir na Nog is open once more, and the greatest Celtic storytellers have gathered for a once-in-a-lifetime journey into the Otherworld. When they return, they'll bring with them tales of the creatures they met and adventures they lived. So that's the theme and a little bit of what the gameplay is. But ultimately what you're doing in this game is you are putting some meeples out on the board next to a couple cards. You're trying to draft those cards to put them in front of you in rows and columns to try to score points based on a card in each of those rows. And whoever has the most points after all that is done, through 5 rounds, is the winner. It's a little bit deeper than that, but that's pretty, a pretty quick rundown of what you're doing. But let's just go on the table, check it out. All right, so here's a game of Tir na Nog, all set up for 2 players. To set up, you're going to give each player a color of pawns. And again, these are prototypes, so they're going to look different. So you're going to get 3 of the pawns in your color. 3 of these top, middle, and bottom row cards. For the first game, which is what I'm showing you, you'll play the first game. But for other games, you can flip them over and do some different things. Each player is also going to have one of these in-game scoring cards, which is going to talk about color regions. I'm only going to put 1 out just for space purposes. And then in a 2-player game, you're going to shuffle all the cards, deal each player 5, and make a grid that I've done here. So we got 3, 2, 3, and I put the deck in the middle, but the rule book shows it like that, but I'm going to leave it like that because I think that looks cool. And then we're ready to go. So this game is played in 3 phases. And the phases are, let me look in the rule book so I don't jack up the names of stuff here, because I'm real bad about that, as we all have known. So the phases are Journey, Saga, and Cleanup. So for Journey, what you're going to be doing, that's going to be the start. So this player's going to go first. We're going to give them this token to symbolize that they're going first. The high token. All right. And what they're going to do is they're going to put 1 of their meeples out in between cards. Now, there are some stipulations. You can't do this. You can't do this. In a 2-player game, you can't go in the middle. And you can't go on a corner. So I couldn't go like, if there were 4 cards here, I couldn't go here and mark the corner. Okay. So first thing I want to do is I want to go mark one of these cards, and I'll explain why that's important in the next phase. So let me look at my cards first so I can see what I want to do. Let's go here. So I'm going to go there between those 2 cards. Okay. Then this player will do the same thing. I'm just going to randomly do it now, and we'll see what happens after. We'll go here. This one will go here. And this one will go here. All right. So that's the end of this journey phase. Now we're going to do this saga phase. And what that means is we're going to be collecting cards and playing them in one of the 3 rows in front of us. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to score points. So if you look at the top row here, the top row is going to score for every card that has no other card of the same number in its row or column. So for example, there's a 7 here, there's a 7 here, they wouldn't score, but there's an 8 here, no more 8s, no 8s here, so it's going to score 8 points. So you're trying to balance out your rows and columns to score points here. This card is going to score each card here that is lower than the previous card. So if you have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you're going to get a lot of points because every card except for the first one is going to be lower. And down here, you want the same set of numbers. So you can see they have 3 4s here. 3 4s is worth 10 points. So you're trying to get a big row. You can only have 5 cards maximum, but you're trying to get as many as you can to score points. Okay. So now purple went first in the placement. So now natural, or whatever color that is, will go first in the saga phase. So what happens now is you're going to have a hand of 5 cards, and I'll go ahead and show you their cards. And the cards are going to have a color, and for color blindness, there's also a symbol. They're going to have a number, and some of them, as you can see on this one, may have special abilities. When there's when played, there's scoring, there's ongoing, all that kind of thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of the cards next to one of your storytellers. Your meeples are the storytellers, and you're going to put it in your hand, and then you're going to play one card into one of the rows. Always have to play farthest to the left. There may be some instances where holes are created. You have to fill those holes. Okay. So I think what I want to do first is I'm going to take this 6. Okay. So I take this 6, put it in my hand, take my meeple back. All right. Then I have to play one of these cards in a row, and I'm going to try. I have a lot of 6s, but first I want to do this. I'm going to start with an 8. Let's actually start with a 5 because I want to try to score the 8. So I'm going to play this green 5 here, and now I want to get an 8 next to it to try to score 8 points. Okay, and that is that. That was their turn. Back to purple. They're going to take some of their cards. Let's see what they want. They have a lot of yellow, so they want. They're just going to go ahead and take this green 3. I don't know why, but that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to start down here with a 4. I'm going to try to get a bunch of 4s down here. That's my goal. Okay, and then I take back my meeple, my storyteller, back to natural. So they have an 8 in their hand. They're going to play this turn. So let's grab this 5. So they're going to grab the 5. It'll go in their hand, or they could play it directly, but they want to play this 8 here, because now that's going to be worth 8 points as long as I can I don't put another 8, or I don't put an 8 in that column. Okay, so that's their second card. Back to this player. They're going to let's take this 1. That's fine. We'll take the 1. Put that there, and they're going to go ahead and play another 4. Nope, not yet. Not yet. They will put a 1 actually right here. Done. All right. Now, neutral's last card, or natural, whatever color. They want to do, well, they have to take one of these 2. So let's take the 3. Take back their storyteller. And they're going to, let's see, I have a pile of 6s. So let's do a 6. Let's do a green 6 here, like that. Okay, done. Now it's purple. Purple has their last card. So they could take a red 2 or a blue 1. And I think they're going to take the red 2. Then they're going to play a card from their hand, and then they're going to play they'll play this 4. So now, when played, change the color of all cards next to this card to red. So we have some of these tokens that are off camera. I can put this on there, and now this is a red card. So that's some of the special powers, and that's a when played card. All right, so now we're moving on to phase 3, which is cleanup. We're going to discard all the rest of the cards out in the journey row, or the journey grid. And then each player is going to discard 1 card, and that is the timer of the game. We have 5 cards, so we're going to have 5 rounds, because each round we're going to be losing 1 card. And I'm going to go ahead and discard this 3. And they're going to discard this card. Let's do a 1. Okay. Then what's going to happen is we would pass the first player marker, we'll refill the grid. Let's move that over. I moved it up a little bit so it's a little tight, but that's fine. You get the gist. And then we're going to keep going. We'll play through round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. And then after round 5, we will score. We will score this card, which is largest color sections. So you're going to look to see who has for every color. I think there's 4 colors. You're going to see who has the largest, and they're going to score 8 points. Second largest will score 3. Okay? And then you're going to score all of your rows based on how they score here, and whoever has the most points is the winner. And that's how you play Tir na Nog. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Tir na Nog. So I have a prototype, so I'm not going to go over the components. I know that the meeples are going to be cooler wooden bits. The cards are probably not going to be miscut, and I'm sure the tokens are going to look better. So I'm not going to go into a lot of that. And I would imagine the box is going to be smaller because it is huge for the little tiny amount of components that's in this. But again, I have a prototype, so you can disregard all that. Let's talk about gameplay. So this is effectively a set collection tableau building game of sorts. What that means is you're trying to collect different cards, sets of cards, to put in the table in front of you, your tableau, to score points. And the way you're going to be getting those cards is, wherever you have one of your storytellers out, you're going to grab one of those cards next to it. Hopefully your storyteller doesn't get lost, because that makes it harder to get cards. And then you're going to put it into your hand, and then play one of the cards from your hand down in front of you to try to score points. Each of the cards, I showed you the first game cards, but there's a back of them that's a little bit more advanced and a little funkier. I haven't played that side, but the first game side's pretty cool anyway. And you're just going to be doing that over the course of 5 rounds. And you can have no more than 5 cards in each row, and whoever has the most points after all that is the winner. Simple game. Not much more to go into other than that. What you saw in the video is what this game is. It's what it does. If you're looking for a light set collecting tableau building game, this is definitely one you should check out. The storytelling piece is pretty different, putting the meeples down adjacent to cards. I know there are other games that do that. What is that one game? Spirium, I think, does the kind of similar thing, but Pacific Rails does it too. It's a cool mechanism. It's just not done in a ton of games, so I dig that. So I like set collection. I like tableau building. This game is pretty good to me. I'm not going to give it a rating. This is just a preview because it's going to be hitting Kickstarter. Might be on Kickstarter now. I'll put a link in the video description so you can check it out if the page is, the campaign is currently going. So that is Tir na Nog from Grand Gamers Guild. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.